Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 10th and our last full day video here in the Big Island, or on the Big Island of Hawaii. Check out that view from our front door. Boat out there on the ocean. It's a perfect temperature right now. I kind of wish it would stay this way all day, but it won't. It will get warmer, and we have some adventuring to do. Okay, well, we are here. We've reached the parking area, or the parking area is behind us, and we're going to attempt a hike to the famous green sand beach. It's about 3 miles each way. We left early, so it's about 8:30 in the morning right now. Temperature is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're just getting started. We'll see if this ends up being a mistake or a really cool experience, or perhaps both. So it's a pretty clear day. Pacific Ocean to the south of us. Lots of wind, which is okay. That makes it feel a little cooler than it actually is. So it's kind of an interesting setup. This is the one place that our Jeep rental company told us we were forbidden from driving. And my understanding is that officially there is no vehicular access to this area. However, up at the parking lot, there are a ton of locals all set up with four-wheel drive vehicles. And one of the things I had heard is that for a fee, they will give you a ride down and save you the 3-mile walk. I've heard different rates of like $15 or $20 per person each way. I don't know, or if that gets you back, not sure. Knowing the prices on Hawaii, it's probably each way. We're opting to do the walk regardless, because again, I do believe vehicular access to this area is actually restricted and forbidden. They want to try and stop a lot of the erosion, which if I flip the camera around, you can see is definitely an issue. There's a lot of braided trails through here from four-wheel drive vehicles, and even on the GPS, the map itself shows a ton of braided trails leading to the beach itself. So we don't need to contribute in any manner to that. Plus, I'm cheap. Neat landscape down here, kind of sandy, rocky, some big waves crashing. Beautiful morning here to start our final full day on the Big Island. It's pretty easy to see the impact of erosion here when you look at some of these 4x4 trails, and you see how far they are cut into the ground here through this softer sand. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall, and the land is up above my head right here. Incredible what has happened here over the years. Once you get into one of these spots that's relatively sheltered from the wind, you really notice the heat. It's going to be a very hot walk back. Wow, that wind is intense, and we're walking straight into it, so it's the kind of wind that as you breathe out, it just pushes the air right back into your face. But it's kind of cool. There's a little sea arch down there. Never would have spotted it except there was a Ferris wheel marked on the map, which is usually some sort of point of interest. So I'll show you, I'll spin the camera around here. You can look at the little sea arch and these massive waves crashing. We're getting ocean spray here. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so there's the arch, just kind of down at the bottom of the center of your screen. But it's the waves that are coming in here and crashing into this beach and kicking up sea foam, and it's pretty intense wind right now. I don't even know, even with the wind muffler on the microphone, if you'll be able to hear any of this. We've still got about a mile to go as the crow flies to get to the cache, and which is by the beach. So I'm kind of using that as my waypoint. We did see 2 more people on the trail behind us, so that's kind of good. It's nice to know there are other people out here. It was the lonely isolation was kind of getting to be a little bit intimidating. We kind of took a little bit of a detour to get to the sea arch, so we kind of came off the 4x4 tracks a bit, and as you can see from Emily, it's not the easiest terrain to navigate. Well, we're about an hour in, about half a kilometer to go, still just walking. I don't know if you'll be able to see the screen here, but if I zoom out a bit, you can see just how braided all these trails are through here. So far it's just been kind of pick the road that looks the easiest to walk on and keep following the ocean. We're seeing some great waves, and every once in a while we get a bit of ocean spray, which is quite a relief given how dry this wind is and how the grains of sand are kind of sandblasting us a little bit. There it is down there, the green sand beach at the base of that ridge. Now, I don't know how to get there. There's a path that looks like it goes down this way. All the paths on the GPS swing around, but we'll try going straight down here, I guess. Oh, that wind keeps threatening to knock Emily off her feet. I don't have quite as much trouble because, you know, I weigh a lot more, so I'm a little more anchored, but it is pretty intense here. And especially trying to keep the sand out of your eyes. I'm really happy I have sunglasses on that are kind of protecting them a bit. All right, here we are, standing on the cliffs above the green sand beach, which you can see down there. I'll zoom in a bit for you. Definitely looks green from up here. Now, I don't actually know how you get down to it, or if you even can. There was a sign here at one point, but I can't make out anything that it used to say. So I don't know, we'll just kind of keep walking and see where this trail goes. What a view! What a sight to see! Just that wind is so intense. A couple left their lock here. Pia and Matthias. October the 19th, 2022. Wow, that wind! That's got to be a truck coming with that amount of dust over there. Oh, yeah. All right, well, we're to the top. And if I flip around, you can see a little sign down here. Kind of, if I Step far enough back. Welcome to Mahana Bay. Do not take sand or graffiti the walls. It looks like quite the trail down. I'm gonna take a look and see here. I'm gonna step down a notch. So this is the route down. Yeah, there is a ladder here that gets you down to the next ledge. I don't know where you go from there, but I'm going to put the camera away at this point because I need both hands. Oh, it's like being sandblasted. I don't know if I said that already. I may have. I know I did, but the might have been in photo mode. But we made it down. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow, what a hike, what an experience, what a place. Quite a spot. So again, I think other than the last little climb down the ladder, which if I show you, you can look up and see it way up there at the top. Other than that, I think the hike is not that bad. I mean, it's 3 miles. It's pretty warm, but it's a very flat hike. You've got really good footing most of the way. So, you know, play it safe, take the proper preparations or make the proper preparations, but don't be intimidated by it. If you're in any sort of condition, you should be able to make it. I mean, maybe that's just me saying that coming from the mountains, but it was not as bad as I thought it would be. And that's why they say you don't turn your back on the ocean. Standing here, the waves have been coming in gently up along here this whole time. That last one just came in and was bawango. But we're back into the sandblasting portion of our walk. So I guess we're gonna start to climb back up. It doesn't seem like the sort of beach that people come and spend a lot of time. We were sort of the first ones down the beach out of this crowd, and actually almost all of them have left and gone back up already. Probably turned away from the wind and the sandblasting. Emily started to climb up. So of course, I can't resist going for one last cache. So I had to come up the ridge here beside the bay. I'm going to show you what I'm facing here. First look at a little bit of exposure as the cache is out at the end of this ridge, high above the bay. I'm not really too worried about the exposure. The wind makes it pretty intense. I think it looks way worse from here than it actually is, but I'm going to stay as far away from that cliff as I can and take this lower path just to avoid any potential problems. Emily, being the smart one, opted not to come out here, but how can I pass this up? I mean, this is a view not only once in a lifetime for me, probably, but it's one that a lot of people probably don't even come and see for themselves. That was pretty intense. There were a few places there where a wrong step and you could have gone down into the ocean. But I found it, and it wasn't as bad now that it's done. But yeah, pretty intense spot for a cache. Well, we're working our way back. I didn't want to reset the trip computer and lose all my track data from our drives around the island. So I don't know exactly how far we are, but I think we're about somewhere between a third and a half of the way back to the parking area. So starting to see more and more people coming in, both walking and, as you'll see, they're in a truck as well. Of course, they just dip behind a low point in the road, so now you can't see anything. So I'll show you ocean instead. Beautiful coastline along here, despite all the erosion issues. Seeing the waves crashing. Yeah, there's some people getting their ride out. As we're coming in, anytime we have the choice, we're taking the leftmost path so that the wind is coming from our left, so that the trucks aren't kicking dust up in our faces. It's amazing how it's just a constant parade of people coming in now. It seems like around every corner we're running into more people hiking or coming out on trucks. And we're back. Parking lot is much busier than when we went down, that's for sure. We made it back here in the parking lot, kind of taking refuge under the glass lid of Hammy the Jeep. So we did it, 6 miles round trip. It's about noon now, so it took us 3 hours, roughly about an hour to walk down. Spent about an hour at the beach finding the geocache up on the ridge like I showed you, and then an hour to walk back. So I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad we started fairly early and got done, because it is really hot right now compared to when we started. Awesome. And it's very combination of the heat, the salt spray from the ocean, and the dust that kicked up that water, even though it's warm now because it's been in the back of the truck here for 3 hours. Oh my God, does that taste good. All right, well, we have driven from South Point here to Naalehu, and we're gonna check out the southernmost bakery in the United States and maybe grab a little something here for lunch. Oh my God, we're moving very slow after that hike. This is a very popular place. Parking lot's one of the busiest parking lots we've seen at any of our food stops. Oh, electric vehicle charging station. Haven't seen one of those before on the island. Join the line. Very nice sandwich. Super soft bread. I don't know. Okay. Oh, this goes right back to the parking lot. That it is. Yeah, that was definitely a must-stop kind of place. The bread was amazingly soft and fresh.
Yeah, it was really good. I got a seafood sandwich. We just did the cold grab-and-go sandwiches, but they had a whole variety of plate lunches and hamburgers and pizza and soups and salads, like quite an extensive menu, and the place was packed. Definitely worth the stop.
You betcha. On down the road. So as we were coming north along the highway, we saw the waves crashing something fierce. The ocean is actually rougher than we've seen it really at any point on this trip. So we pulled into this little wayside called Whittington Beach, and we're going to take a walk along, look at some waves crashing, and maybe, if we get down that far, check out the remains of an old sugar plantation wharf slash pier. Oh, that way. Well, this is not the wharf, but clearly this is some remnant from the sugar plantation days. Pond over there, and the ocean over there. So if you look down there, right there, that is the old pier. And after Pearl Harbor was bombed in 1941, it was decided that that would be too convenient of a location for the Japanese to launch a landing party on the Big Island. So the US actually chose to bomb the pier themselves and prevent it from falling into potentially enemy hands. So kind of a bit of a scorched earth policy, and what's left there is what survived the bombing. So just up on our left up here, we're on our way back towards Pahala, where we spent the first 5 days of vacation, and there's a pretty large looking wildfire burning off there on the horizon. We've seen at least one fire truck heading the opposite direction. We imagine trying to go get water or something, but yeah, it doesn't look good from down here on the highway. So we just pulled into Pahala again, and this is where we were coming anyway, but you can see the plume of smoke there off to the south. We just saw a helicopter with a water bucket load up and head that direction. So I'm assuming it's a wildfire. We're not really sure what's burning at this point, or if it's or what's going on. There's our cottage that we stayed at.
No sign on the door.
Yeah, doesn't look like it's currently occupied. There's no part or cars in front today. Helicopters going overhead again. So that's why we're over here, the Kau Coffee Mill, 2.5 miles down this road. It's kind of funny. We were over on this side of the island for, 5 nights and never managed to make it to the coffee place. And now that we're on the opposite side of the island, we finally have a day free enough to fit it into our schedule. So that's where we're heading. Nice little stop, little gift shop. We've already purchased most of our gifts, so we didn't need to buy anything. But nice seating area out here. Not very busy today. But yeah, I'm glad we finally made it here. So we're working our way back to Kona. This here, this is an old road, or it's a road I saw on Google Maps at one point. I guess I can put this up here. That I saw on Google Maps that goes all the way from Pahala back south to Neapanu, or to the town where the bakery is. And I wanted to drive it. I didn't get the chance to do it when we were here the first time. So we're going to try it now. I don't know how far we're going to get, or if it's going to be shut down because of the wildfire, which you can probably see kind of the smoke and everything down that direction. So we're going to see if we can make it down this road all the way or not. I don't know if it's going to be a good road like this all the way or what happens, but we'll find out. Worst case scenario, we turn around and come back. You can kind of smell the smoke from the fire, but I don't see anything up here, so just a nice, relaxing, quiet drive through the countryside so far. Definitely getting into some smoke here. And we've seen a couple pickup trucks with water tanks on them, so assuming they're part of the firefighting effort. Let's see what we see up here. Being able to take the roof off the Jeep really makes for an open and fun driving experience. Lets us see the mountains way up above us that we otherwise wouldn't be able to see through the roof. Now, I'm certainly no expert when it comes to Hawaiian history, but I imagine, given that this road runs between Pahala and Naalehu, that and it's called the Cane Haul Road, is that I suspect this was often used for moving the sugar cane between the plantations of Pahala and the coastline of Naalehu. That's my theory anyway. I suspect this was probably the main road between the towns prior to the construction of the highway, which is, oh, bumps, more bumps, lots of bumps, which is way down there closer to the coastline. So kind of neat. Like I said, even sometimes when you don't know the history, you can still experience the history. So this is kind of cool. We're kind of coming up onto some sort of summit ridge here or whatnot, and there's must be a weather radar up here on the left side. Whoa, big bump. Whoa. Really enjoying this countryside up here. Must be weather radar. It's extra windy here, so this place obviously gets really good radar, or really good weather, I should say.